Thank you.
गूगल में तो नहीं बोलती है।
Good evening, everyone. Now the meeting will be hosted by Renu ma'am from Loyola Convent School, and it's a request to all teachers kindly not to send or share the link of attendance to others participants. It's a humble request, ma'am. So kindly do this.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Am I audible? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Now, I, Renu Singh, as a resource person, will present my view on the topic stress management techniques. What is stress? Stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. It can come from any event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, angry, or nervous. Stress is your body's reaction to a challenge or demand. In short bursts, stress can be positive, such as when it helps you avoid danger or meet a deadline. So, what is stress? Stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. It can come from any event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, angry, or nervous. Stress is your body's reaction to a challenge or demand. In short, burst. Stress can be positive, such as when it helps you avoid danger or meet a deadline. 10 tips to manage stress. 10 tips of managing stress is number 1, exercise. Number 2, relax your muscles. Number 3, deep breathing. 4, eat well. 5, slow down. 6, take a break. 7, make time for hobbies. And 8, talk about your problems. So there are 10 tips to manage stress. Exercise, relax your muscles, deep breathing, eat well, slow down, take a break, make time for hobbies, talk about your problems. What are the 3 types of stress? 3 types of stress are acute stress, episodic acute stress, and chronic stress. Acute stress disorder is an intense, unpleasant, and dysfunctional reaction beginning shortly after an overwhelming traumatic event and lasting less than a month. If symptoms persist longer than a month, people are diagnosed as having post-traumatic stress disorder. Examples of acute stress: natural distress such as flood, fires, or earthquakes. Car accidents, sudden death of a loved one, receiving a life-threatening diagnosis, and physical assault. What are the different types of acute stress? The different type of acute stresses are emotional distress, muscle tension, headache, back pain, jaw ache, stomach upset, rapid heartbeat, and raised blood pressure. What are the treatment for acute stress reactions? Acute stress reaction, an intense and unpleasant reaction that develops in a weeks following a traumatic event. Symptoms typically last for 1 month or less. If symptoms persist beyond 1 month, affected individuals are considered to have post-traumatic stress disorder. Acute stress reaction is an intense and unpleasant reaction that develops in the weeks following a traumatic event. Symptoms typically last for 1 month or less. If symptoms persist beyond 1 month, affected individuals are considered to have post-traumatic stress disorder. And emotional distress, mental suffering as an emotional response to an experience that arises from the effect or memory of a particular event, occurrence pattern of events or conditions. Emotional distress can anxiety be discerned from the symptoms. Example, anxiety, depression, lacks of ability to perform the task, or physical illness. And tension, muscle tensions refers to the condition in which muscle of the body remains semi-contracted for an extended period. Muscle tension is typically caused by psychological effects of stress and can lead to episodes of back pain, headache, back pain, jaw ache, a painful sensation in. How do I stop stressing and starting a living? There are 10 powerful ways to stop worrying and start living today. There are 10 powerful ways to stop worrying and start living today. Number 1, make your decision and never look past. Reverse, do not go. Reverse, so do not look past. Reverse, do not go reverse. So do not look past. Number 2, live for today. Pack things up in day-tight compartments. And number 3, embrace the worst case scenario and strategize to offset. Event has no meaning. You give meaning to it. So embrace the worst case scenario and strategize to offset it. Because event has no meaning, you give meaning to it. Put a lid on your worrying. Fake it till you make it. Give for the joy of giving. Always give for the joy of giving. Dump every joy being uniquely you. Haters will hate. It just means you are doing it right. Learn to rest before you get tired. And get organized and enjoy your work. Make your decision and never look back. It's hard not to wonder whether you have done the right thing and whether there might be still be time to take another path. However, keep this in mind. You have already made your decision, so act decisively on it and dismiss all your anxiety about it. Don't stop to hesitate, to reconsider, or to retrace your steps. Once you have chosen a course of action, stick to it and never waver. Once, if you have chosen a course of action, stick to it and never waver. If one find later that he or she is heading in a wrong direction, there will be a time to reconsider what he or she is doing. Leave for today, pack things up in day-tight compartments. We know that fitting, tossing, turning, and worrying over something that happened or something that might well be via us. To avoid this pointless worrying, we need day-tight compartments, much as a sea has different watertight compartments, and our own day-tight one, we need to limit our attention to the present moment. The rule is simple. Whatever happened in the past or might happen in the future must not intrude upon today. Everything else has to wait its turn for tomorrow's box or stay stuck in the past. The rule is simple. Whatever happened in the past or might happen in the future must not intrude upon today. Everything else has to wait its turn for tomorrow's box or stay stuck in the past. Whatever the worst might be, it's probably not so world ending. We could probably even bounce back from it. Start by writing down our biggest concerns, then write down the possible consequences of those events, and then at least 3 ways we could overcome or deal with those consequences. We may find we have we have more tools at our disposal than we think. Stress is everyday fact of life. It is impossible to avoid stress. The key is to learn how to cope. Because I already said that rivers do not go reverse. So don't look past. Event has no meaning. You give meaning to it. Leave for today. Pack things up in day-tight compartment. Then we are able to control our stress. Put a lid on our worrying. Sometimes we stress endlessly about negative thoughts and experiences when just walking away from them would serve our mental health far better. Fake it till we make it. That is happiness. We can't directly influence how we feel, but we can nudge ourselves to change through how we think and act. We cannot directly influence how we feel, but we can nudge ourselves to change through how we think and act. If we are feeling sad or low, slap a big grin on our face and whistle a chipper tune. We all find it impossible to be blue when acting cheerful. But we don't necessarily need to act outwardly happy. We can simply think happier thought instead. A 2020 study found that forcing a smile can help shift our brain towards more positive thinking. 2020 study found that forcing a smile can help shift our brain towards more positive thinking. Therefore, try to smile even when we are feeling down. We may find that it turns our day in a better direction. Marcus Aurelius summoned it up aptly. Our life is what our thought make it. Our life is what our thought make it. No, Marcus has said correctly because it is said जब बदलती है नजरें तब बदल जाती है नजारें. ये सच है कि विपत्ति जब आती है कायर को ही दहलाती है. सुरमा नहीं विचलित होते, क्षण एक नहीं धीरज खोते. So Marcus Aurelius summoned it is correctly. Our life is what our thought make it. Give for the joy of giving. When we perform acts of kindness, we often do so with the expectation of what to say gratitude. But harboring such expectations will probably leave us disappointed. One person well aware of this fact was the lawyer Samuel Laboriti. Over the course of his career, Laboriti saved 78 people from going to the electric chair. Guess how many thanked him? How many thanked him? None. So stop expecting gratitude when you are kind to someone. Instead, take joy from the act yourself. So give for the joy of giving. Don't envy joy being uniquely you. Your genes are completely unique. Even if someone had the same parents as you, the likelihood of some gifts of someone is identical to you on is just 1 in 3 lakhs billions. Despite this amazing fact, many of us long to be someone else, thinking the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. Despite this amazing fact, many of us long to be someone else, thinking the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. But living your life this way is pointless. Embrace your uniques and get comfortable with who you really are in order to learn how to stop worrying and start living. Haters will hate. It just means we are doing it right. When we are criticized, it often means we are accomplishing something noteworthy. In fact, let us take it a step further and consider this: the more we are criticized, the more influential and important a person we likely are. So this is a fact. Haters will hate. It just means we are doing it right. When we are criticized, it often means we are accomplishing something noteworthy. In fact, let's take it a step further and consider this: the more we are criticized, the more influential and important a person we likely are. The next time somebody talks you down, don't let it get to you. Stop worrying about criticism and take it as a compliment. Stop worrying about criticism and take it as a compliment. Now, if someone keep hearing the same negative criticisms from various people, it may be time to take a look at what he is acting. Everyone has room, because everyone has room for improvement. So don't be afraid to adjust. your attitude when it is warranted. Because event has no meaning. You give meaning to it. Event has no meaning. You give meaning to it. If you give positive meaning, you will have a positive behavior. So event has no color, we give color to it. This thing should be taken care always to make ourselves stress free. Event has no meaning, we give meaning to it. If we give positive meaning, we will have a positive behavior. Event has no color, we give color to it. So don't become a warriors, be warrior. Now it's same one keep hearing the same negative criticism from various people. It may be time to take a look at what he is acting everyone has, because everyone has room for improvement. So don't be afraid to adjust your attitude when it is warranted. Learn to rest before you get tired. Scientists agree that emotions are the most common cause of fatigue, and it works the other way around. True fatigue produces more worries and negative emotions. So, it is important to learn how to prevent both fatigue and worry. It should be clear therefore, that when we are learning how to stop worrying and start living, learn to relax regularly. Learn to relax regularly before we feel tired. Otherwise, worries and fatigue will accumulate on top of each other. It is impossible to worry when we are relaxed, and regular rest helps us to maintain ability to work effectively. Resting can include taking a nap, enjoying a walk through nature, or sitting on a couch with a good book. Find the form of rest that works for our unique body and mind. So we have to learn rest before we get tired. It should be clear that when we are learning how to stop worrying and start living, learn to relax regularly before we feel tired. Otherwise, worries and fatigue will accumulate on top of each other. It is impossible to worry when we are relaxed. And regular rest helps us to maintain ability to work effectively. Resting can include taking a nap, enjoying a walk through nature, or sitting on a couch with a good books. Find the form of rest that works for our unique body and mind. Get organized and enjoy your work. There are few greater sources of misery in life than having to work day in day out. Isn't in a job you despise, it would make sense then that you shouldn't pick a job you hate or even just dislike doing. But say you already have a job, how can you make it more enjoyable and worry free? One way is to develop good working habits and stay organized. We have to stay organized to enjoy the work. There are two types of stress: eustress, that is called positive, or good stress. Second, you can see distress, which is called negative or bad stress. What is this a good stress and what are these bad stress? Eustress, a positive form of stress having a beneficial effect on health, on motivation, on performance, and emotional well-being. Example of eustress are: people can experience eustress when they feel confident, in their ability to solve a problem or cope with situation. For example, they may feel stressed about an exam, know that they have prepared to be able to do it. Afterward, they might feel a sense of accomplishment or pride. This is eustress. Eustress means good stress, which improves our confidence, which gives us the power to solve the problem, which makes us able to feel pride. This is eustress. Distress, negative, bad stress, very upset, in a very difficult situation. Causes of distress. Causes of distress. Financial difficulties. It can be environmental adjustments. It can be academic difficulties due to time management and organization difficulties. It can be depression and traumatic event. Positive stress result. What are the results of positive stress, which is eustress results? Enables concentration, increases performance, energizes you into motion. There are three main results of positive stress. There are many, but three main. Enables concentration, number one. Increases performance, number two. Energizes us into motion, number three. Concentration or similar words like focusing the mind, controlling the mind, and mindfulness. But as often as here the word concentration, concentration is the ability to direct one's attention in accordance with one's will. Concentration is the ability to direct one's attention in accordance with one's will. It means contrast of the attention. It is the ability to focus the mind on one subject, object, or thoughts, and at the same time include from the mind every other unrelated thought, ideas, feelings, and sensations. Concentration is the state in which one's whole attention is engrossed in one thing only and being oblivious to everything else. During concentration, the mind focuses on the object of concentration and only one thought occupies the mind. Only one thought. When we are able to concentrate, only one thought occupies the mind. The whole energy of the mind becomes concentrated on this one thought and increases performance. Push yourself at work. Take one new task. Researchers have shown a certain amount of stress is needed for an increased performance. A certain amount of stress is needed for an increased performance. Eustress thrill and excitement whenever we are confronted by the demanding situations. As eustress improves our concentration and makes us more enthusiastic to perform. Energizes you into motions. Manageable stress increases alertness and performance. Because I already told you the stress is required for some of the achievement. So manageable stress increases alertness and performance. And by encouraging the growth of stem cells that become brain cells, stress improves memory. Performance levels increase stress management is effective. Stresses such as pressure and demands can facilitate better stress response and thus higher level of performance. Negative stress. The result of negative stress are loss of motivation, causes affects physical, mental, and behavioral problems, loss of motivation. Stress that is left unchecked can contribute to many health problems such as high blood pressure, heart diseases, obesity, and diabetes. Exposure to stress has profound but complex actions or motivated behavior and decision making. These effects are central to core symptoms of a precipitated or psychiatric disorders that are or augmented by stress, such as depressive disorders and substance use disorders. Its effectiveness. The human body is designed to experience stress. Human body is designed to experience stress and react to it. Stress can be positive, such as getting a job promotion or being given greater responsibilities, keeping us alert and ready to avoid danger. These are stress becomes negative distress when a person faces continuous challenges without relief or relaxation between challenges. As a result, the person becomes overworked and stress related tension builds. So, without relief or relaxation between challenges, as a result, the person becomes overworked and stress tension. This can lead to including headache, upset stomach, elevated blood, elevated blood pressure, chest pain, and problem of sleeping. Stress also become harmful when people use alcohol, tobacco, or drugs to try to relieve their stress. These substances tend to keep the body in a stress state and cause more problems. It should be taken care. Stress also becomes harmful when people use alcohol, tobacco, drugs to try to relieve their stress. These substances tend to keep the body in a stressed state and cause more problems. So physical and mental behavioral problems, mental health problems such as anxiety and personality disorder, cardiovascular diseases, including heart diseases, high blood pressure, abnormal heart rhythms, heart attacks, and strokes. These are the physical and mental behavioral problems due to stress. Stress can cause mental health problem too. It can make existing problems worse. For example, if you experience lots of stress, this might lead you to develop a mental health problem like anxiety or depression, or traumatic periods of stress might lead to post-traumatic stress disorder. So we can say stress can cause mental health problem too. It can make existing if you experience lots of stress, might lead you to develop a mental health problems like anxiety or depression, or a traumatic period stress might lead to post-traumatic stress disorder. Some stresses in life of human beings, like death of loved one, losing job, illness, losing work motion, birth of a child, marriage, winning the lottery. These are some stress in the life human beings. Some stressors. These are some and what are stressors? Death of loved one. I said losing a job, illness, starting leave, of life, marriage, winning the lottery. Stress and lifestyle. Stress and lifestyle, life events, daily events, beliefs and attitude, social support, meaning in life, environmental stressors, stress as necessary motivation, stress as glamour, men, women, stress. So life events have been defined as a social experiences or change with a specific onset and core that has a psychological impact on the individual means of something happens in real life. It actually happens and is not just in a story or in someone's imagination. And daily events, it is not just personal relationships that can bring stress. Toxic relationship, whether with friend or co-workers, are especially dangerous. These are relationships that consist of patterns like frequent criticism, gossip, unrealistic demands, contempt and mocking. Belief and attitude means a crisis of wellness, meaning and purpose, joyless striving instead of productive, stressing, misalignment and fulfilling work, and within the one's core spiritual belief. Stress and attitude, well, believe it or not, your bad attitude could be the culprit for why you are feeling so icky. In fact, resources shows that having a positive, optimistic outlook on life improves our health, relationships, and self-confidence, all of which lower our stress levels and increases happiness. As already I said, that event has no meaning, you give meaning to it. If you give positive meaning, you will have a positive behavior. Event has no color, we give color to it. So stress and attitude, well, believe it or not, your bad attitude could be the culprit for why you are feeling so icky. In fact, research shows that having a positive, optimistic outlook on life improves our health, relationships, all of which lower support, the benefit of a network of social support, including improving the ability to cope with stressful situations, alleviating the effects of emotional distress, promoting lifelong good mental health. There are some types of social support like construct, emotional, instrumental, information. Informational. Informational. Meaning in life, stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension, can come from any event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, angry, or nervous. Stress is your body's reactions to a challenge or demand. In short, burst stress can be positive or negative. Environmental stresses are factors whose influence is to constrain productivity, reproduces and ecosystem development. Usually considered to fall into one of four distinct classes: catalytic events, stressful life events, daily stresses, etc. Stress as a necessary stress as a necessary motivation. For example, when face danger or a highly challenging situation, our body produces adrenaline. Adrenaline making us more alert and ready to react or respond quickly. In the workplace, when faced with the unexpected or looming deadline, stress motivates us to get our work done on time. So stress has necessary motivation, because as I said you, it us challenge situation. It makes us ready to respond quickly. In a workplace, challenges comes and this motivates us to get the work done on the time. Stress has a glamour. Although the stress response can sometimes be detrimental in many cases. Stress hormones actually induce growth and release chemicals into the body that rebuild cells, synthesize proteins, and expands immunity, leaving the body even stronger and healthier than it was before. Egoism, for example, psychological egoism asserts that a person will always act in their own self interest, even when it appears as though they are not. Imagine that someone tells you that they volunteered at a soup kitchen once a month because they want to help the homeless. Stress responses. Alarm phase. The alarm reaction stage is the body's initial response to stress. This stage is also referred to as the fight or flight response. During this stage, the body's sympathetic nervous system in activated by the sudden release of hormones. Adaptation phase. Adaptation phase. General adaptation syndrome describes the process your body goes through when you are exposed to any kind of stress, positive or negative. It has three stages: alarm resistance and exhaustion. If we do not resolve the stress that has triggered gas, it can lead to physical and mental health problems. And exhaustion phases. What is the exhaustion phase? This stage is the result of prolonged or chronic stress. Struggling with stress for long periods can drain your physical, emotional, and mental resources to the point where your body no longer has strength to fight stress. You may give up or feel your situation is hopeless. At this stage, the body has depleted its energy, resources by continue life but failing to recover from the initial alarm reaction stage. Once it reaches the exhaustion stage, a person's body is no longer equipped to fight. This is exhaustion phase. Exhaustion phase means this is stage is the results of prolonged or chronic stress. Struggling with stress for long periods can drain your physical, emotional, and mental resources to the point where your body no longer has strength to fight stress. You may give up or feel your situation is hopeless. At this stage, the body has depleted the energy resources by continually trying but failing to recover from the initial alarm reaction stage. Once it reaches the exhaustion stage, a person's body is no longer equipped to fight stress. So first of all, we have to, for fighting the stress, we have to be positive. So what is the physical stress sign? Physical stress sign: increased breathing, heart rate increase, muscles tighten, cold clammy hands, handshake. These are the signs of the physical stress. So there are many signs, but there are main 5 signs of the physical stress. Increased rating is increased breathing, heart rate increase, muscle tighten, cold clammy hands, and handshake. Means stress affects on the body too. Stress affects musculoskeleton of the body, including the respiratory, cardiovascular, endocrine, gastrointestinal, nervous system. There are some long-term physical signs too. Long-term physical signs are long signs real fatigue, sleeplessness, longer recovery from injury, endocrine system problems. Long-term physical signs: immune system less effect, disorders, fatigue, sleeplessness, longer recovery from the endocrine problems. Different what testing person maybe little concerned and not stress is bad. In a small dose, doses can help you.